Hey everybody, welcome back. Adam here, and now for something completely different. So tonight is the start of a series that I have been kind of talking about on the channel for a while. The series is yet to be named, but the whole notion behind it is that we are going to be looking at non-Magic the Gathering digital TCGs and kind of see what it's like coming into these clients fresh. As somebody who is coming from another game, or maybe no digital TCG experience, and kind of what it feels like coming to the client. And so the very first one we're checking out this evening is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So I guess some quick background as to why Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. As somebody who exists in the Magic community and plays a lot of Magic the Gathering, especially online, one of the biggest downfalls of Magic the Gathering is its digital interfaces. Arena is a client that works exceptionally well, but it has a very, very limited card pool, and therefore you can't do all the things on Arena that maybe you might want to do if you enjoy playing Magic. Now, the trade-off to that is playing Magic Online. Magic Online has access to so many cards, most of the cards that you could play in a paper game of Magic. However, Magic Online is a very clunky program. It is not exactly built to be the prettiest or easiest thing to use. Now, where we get to Master Duel is that, from all accounts, hearing people both from within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community and outside it, Master Duel is a program that represents the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG very well in a digital space. And we'll kind of go into that a little more as we're looking through things. But it seems that Konami has really hit the mark with representing their game in a digital multiplayer online sense, in that you can do a lot of the things that you would do in a paper game fairly easily through a digital client. And it is a digital client that looks aesthetically pleasing and functions reasonably well. So, after hearing people talk about how good and how well Master Duel works, I wanted to give it a shot myself. And that was kind of part of the inspiration for this whole new series that we're going to be running on the channel, as well as watching Benjamin Wheeler from Loading Ready Run, or Loading Ready Run Adjacent Human, with his series, Is This Your Card? Looking at different digital TCGs, because Magic sees a lot of attention in that space, but I don't think that Magic is necessarily the best client, and it'll be interesting to see how kind of some of these other games stack up. So, tonight we are checking out Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel as part of this new series, which has yet to be named. If you have ideas for a cool stream name as we check out digital TCGs from a newcomer's perspective, and entirely free to play. I mean, that's the other caveat. We're spending $0 here. Please feel free to message me and we can talk about names and I will shout you out. I have yet to come up with a name that I really like for this series, so it doesn't have one yet. But, so quick aside, I have spent a small amount of time inside this client now. And part of that was I wanted to get some of the tutorial out of the way. I kind of wanted this to flow a little more freely, so that we can kind of examine different parts of the client and what it does and what it doesn't do. So I have spent a little time inside the Master Duel client. And the first thing I want to touch on is actually the tutorial. When you fire up the client for the first time and start an account, one of the first things it asks you is how familiar you are with the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. And it asks that from a series of different perspectives. One, it asks, okay, are you familiar with the anime or the manga? Okay, so you, like, in that sense, you at least have some passing familiarity with the game. Okay, have you ever played the TCG? If so, was it recent? Was it a long time ago? Do you still play regularly? How does that work out? And what kind of level of play? And then it also asks, you know, are you playing have you played tournaments for Yu-Gi-Oh! Before? It wants to know where are you at so that the client can meet you on that level. And that's really cool. Then it does go into some tutorial stuff. I've done some of the basic stuff that's just kind of like, this is how you play your cards. But what I will show off kind of is the solo section. So the solo section of the Master Duel client, this is the basic tutorial, but then it offers some different kinds of notions. It'll explore different concepts of the game. And so we'll jump in here real quick and see I've completed a couple of these. So this one here says, when you respond to a player's cards, when multiple cards are used, their effects will resolve in a chain. So this is kind of resolving multiple things in succession, all happening at a fairly similar time in the game. So it's just explaining this is how chains work and how some of these combos can work. So we're going to dive in. We're going to do a couple of these quick tutorial things just to kind of show off what it's doing. So with some of these tutorials, they really keep the training wheels on. For example, this one, it's going to show you not only some tutorial text, but it's also going to set you to, here is your starting hand, always, and here are the cards that are coming off the top, always, in a very specific order, because it wants you to figure out a way to play and a way to understand the rules in a tactile fashion. So discussing chains built from cards being activated in response to each other. Spell speed is an important aspect to understand how chains work. When multiple cards are used at the same spell speed, they will be chained in this order. Chain 1 is mandatory effects, 2 is optional effects. So chain 1, card effects on face-up cards. Chain 2, card effects on face-down cards. So it just kind of explains to you, like, this is how things work. Okay. And then it will actually walk you through the process it wants you to understand. So you draw your card. If there's a card in the pendulum zone, add one pendulum monster or pendulum spell trap from your deck to your hand. Activate only once. Card effects are more than just normal spells, monsters, ignition effects. There are many cards whose effects can be activated once their conditions have been fulfilled. Okay? Let's take a look at how chains are built. Activate star pendulum graph. Okay. So, your opponents cannot target spellcaster type monsters you control with spell cards or effects. Great. Understood. Play this card. Normal summon Double Iris Magician. They will activate Trap Hole on your summon. When it is destroyed by the effective Trap Hole, many of your cards will have their activation conditions fulfilled, and you'll be able to build a chain. Pay close attention into the order which the chain is built. Kill my thing. Yes. Activate the effect. Activate the effect. We have a third card. Play this Chronograph Sorcerer. Yep. This Odd Eyes. Go ahead and grab a Time Pendulum Graph. And it's going to tell you all the cards it wants you to have. Okay. Set this card. And it's going to go ahead and explain exactly how things resolved the way they did. So, a lot of the tutorial stuff does really hold your hand like this. Go ahead and grab ourselves another idiot. Set this pendulum scale. Activate this. And grab ourselves some odd eyes. So, we have now set up all of our shenanigans. And then we can pass the turn. So it is explained to us exactly the way that chains are built. Mandatory effects first, optional effects at a later date. Yep. This one. This one. Yes, please. Okay. What does this one do? Gonna go ahead and grab this. Okay, so we're going to activate this. Discard this card from our hand. This one. This one. What do you do? Okay. Can choose a card in the graveyard. Nope, I don't think we're interested in doing that, so I think we're just going to move to combat. Do a bunch of damage. Perfect. We've done all the things. Sure. Draw our card. Doesn't feel like a card that particularly matters, but we can do it. I think we're just gonna go Start the smashing. Cool. And so this just kind of walks you through the process of resolving multiple effects and cards at once. And you'll see that each one of these does something a little different. Reducing opponents' life points to 0 is the most conventional way to win a duel. But aside from battling with monsters, there's another way to reduce your opponent's life points by using card effects that can inflict life point damage without battling. So this is talking about direct damage. Magic players, you'll be really familiar with this concept. We call it burn. So again, just kind of a cool thing. It'll walk you through things, and honestly, I didn't even show that off, but each practice duel, each kind of tutorial thing has different rewards. So it will offer you different rewards for learning how the game works. So then, furthermore, in fact, let's dive back into the solo section here real quick. You'll see sections like this that talk about specific card types. This is involving Monarch cards. And then Elemental Lord and element effects. So some of these talk about just the different kind of the backgrounds behind certain cards. Now, another one that's important here, you have daily, login, and lifetime missions. Furthermore, I'll go over the other one here in a second, that Duel Live. So, when you meet certain criteria, win duels in solo, find secret packs, banish your opponent's cards, whenever you meet certain criteria, you are rewarded with an in-game currency. That in-game currency can be used to buy pre-constructed decks called structure decks, or packs to fish for cards that you might need. So that is something that I have found that is particularly nice about Master Duel, is that currency is not particularly hard to come by. So I'm sitting here at 360 at the moment. That's 3 packs. But I have also purchased an abundance of packs, the Duel Pass, for additional rewards on meeting certain criteria. So they're pretty generous with the in-game currency, the gem packs. They hand them out pretty regularly. So you can buy additional gems. I have not, and don't intend to, as that is against the whole notion of this series. But you can, should you want. But they're also pretty generous with them. So, for example, I'm going to pop over here. This is the deck building section. You can build a whole plethora of decks. So, for example, I started looking at some of the top tier decks that exist right now, and decided I was going to try to build a couple. And so I am only a small handful of cards away from 2, this one and another one, of some of the top tier decks. And I literally fired up the client for the first time yesterday. Another thing that's cool about this whole process is that you can dismantle cards. So you'll see all of these different types of points here. Some of these are for regular or normal rarity cards. Some are for rares, secret rares, super rares, and ultra rares. So all of these different currencies can be used to construct cards of various rarities. You can also dismantle cards that you have extras of to obtain more of the currency you need to be able to play the cards you want to play. So it is fairly easy to construct fairly powerful decks pretty quickly. Again, I'm only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm like halfway, a little over halfway to this deck, and I fired up the client yesterday for the first time. I've also got a second list here that is also something I'm in the process of working on, that again, not too many cards away from. And this is only a couple hours at max of play. So you are able to build fairly reasonable decks fairly quickly with no financial investment, which I think is actually pretty great. Also, with your in-game currency, there is a shop where you can purchase packs, structure decks, accessories like little friends to hang out with you, different battlefields, card sleeves, stuff like that. So if you get to a point where you have a bunch of extra currency lying around, the newest pack releases are a ways away, you can also go ahead and just spend them on other stuff. There are special different objects that you can purchase, like the Duel Pass, which again just grants you extra rewards for meeting certain criteria. Bundles, which offer a slew of packs and one particularly useful card or staple. For example, Ash Blossom Joyous Spring is a very, very, very commonly played card. And this is, okay, here's 10 packs and a copy of Ash Blossom. Have a good time. You can purchase extra deck slots, so if you hit your limit for how many decks that you can have constructed and you need extra slots, you can purchase extras. There are secret packs that you can unlock through various means, which will allow you to kind of hone in on more specific card types. So if you're fishing for very, very specific cards, you can kind of narrow it down by purchasing secret packs, which are unlocked by buying other packs, which show you where these cards are from. Then bonus packs. The only thing I have found in this category so far is what's called the Legacy Pack. This is for much older Yu-Gi-Oh product, and is just a way to funnel that into the game. So pretty cool. But from my experience, the Master Pack offers the greatest variety of cards, offers you the largest ability to find cards of varying different types. So you will see here one super rare guaranteed in every 10 packs, and you can purchase one pack for 100 gems. So we'll go ahead and buy a pack, kind of show you what that looks like. So it offers you the opportunity to kind of go through a little bit at a time. There's a cute animation, or you can just skip that whole process and see what was in your pack. Yu-Gi-Oh! Art is still so wild. Shadow Falco. Phantom Knight's Fragile Armor. So, you'll get various cards that you then can add to your collection. And because I think that this lets me show off the system I was kind of just talking about, I didn't want solo here. Go back to you, Dad. This is the one thing I have seen, is when flipping between different categories inside the client, it does take a minute for it to load up and try to figure out, whether we're coming or going. No. We'll remove this. I don't want to. So I was going to see here, because what this will allow you to do is this the deck that was playing Shadow? No. Shadow Beast. Okay. So if you end up, so I guess much like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh has card limits of how many of one card you can put in a deck. In Yu-Gi-Oh, the maximum is 3. So when you hit over 3 of a given card, you can just go ahead and dismantle extra copies to get yourself access to the points you might need to purchase other cards that you need, or construct other cards you need. So, pretty cool. You'll see that much like with Arena's system for earning wild cards, you will often end up with a lot of the lower tier points, your normals and rares, while your super rares and ultra rares are in higher demand. But I will say that it has not been stingy with either. If you buy the Duel Pass, it does offer you a whole pile of those points for various things. So, another thing that you can do in this client is duel other people. You can just play against other people. There is ranked duels, which allows you to climb a ladder, much like Arena's ladder. There are casual matches, team battles, all sorts of different things you can do, different ways that you can play. So with this, we can go ahead and fire up ranked here. Another thing is that after you complete the very initial tutorial, the game allows you to select one of 3 decks to start playing and using and whatever. I would say that one thing that I don't necessarily love about Master Duel is that when it offers you your first selection of structure deck or pre-constructed deck, it does not really do a great job at explaining why that you would pick a certain structure deck. It doesn't really do a great job at explaining exactly what that does in meaningful terms for a new player. So when I got offered the choice last night, I messaged a friend who I know is familiar with the client and said, hey, here are my options, what should I pick? What is going to offer me the best set of cards for my collection long term, and it's going to be reasonably playable in itself. So I chose this deck around synchro monsters and special summoning those. So I would say that is the one downfall I have seen so far, is that it does really ask that you know something about the cards. Opponent's choosing whether to go first. Cool. I would say it's quite interesting in that where in Magic, if you have the opportunity, you probably want to go first the vast majority of the time. I would say that in Yu-Gi-Oh, that is not necessarily the case. In Yu-Gi-Oh, it is quite possible that you would want to play second, because going second allows you to attack first. Chosen by the world. Okay. Okay. Going to summon this. Not gonna play this. That can stay in my hand. Gonna go to combat. Kill their dude. Bird, hello, welcome. We're doing something a little different tonight. We are starting a series exploring other digital TCGs beyond Magic Online and beyond Magic the Gathering, and their clients from the perspective of new players. So tonight we are looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because it turns out that Yu-Gi-Oh's client is much better than ours. It's not close. I do appreciate you swinging by. Yeah, don't worry, we're not turning into a Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel by default. I just wanted to start exploring some other TCGs, because I've heard a lot about various clients for other TCGs, and how good some of them are, and what they have done comparatively. Okay. I'm going to bottom. I am going to put this down. This will be useful for later. What are turbo? Should we get a turbo here? Summon this. Get you. Take this big idiot. Okay, so, and it's interesting. I have never played, like, the last time I had played Yu-Gi-Oh! Was in probably 2008. So I only opted to explore Master Duel because I heard that the client was very good. I heard that the client functioned much better than Magic Online. And so far that is the case. And it looks nice. I mean, mind you, that is with the caveat that you're, like, into the art style of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I would say that it's fairly good. Yeah, much more fluid. What are you doing? No, we're fine. Now we're good. Okay. Like, I am kind of surprised at how much cleaner it is. Oh, don't need that. This is fine. Yeah, I will say I definitely like how much more fluid the client is. It does seem a little clunky at various points in time. No, that's fine. Your polymerization is going to happen. My opponent is thinking long and hard about their choices for polymerization. Delightful. Thanks for that. Printed is 26. We've got this beat now. We just attack. Crunch this thing in the dirt. Okay. Summon a idiot. Sure thing. Fusion substitutes. Okay. Finding a bigger, dumber idiot? Okay. Sure. All right. That's hilarious. Goodbye. Crunch for damage, add more attack. So, Bert, okay, as a Magic player who has also played Master Duel, what is it that I need to be looking at in this game? because again, I have very, very little familiarity with Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole. Different archetypes, different things that the client does well. Like, what are your recommendations? Sure. Like, the gameplay seems great. Like, is there, like, a different... I guess, if you were going to show off something that, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has to offer that, like, maybe you don't find as much of in something like Magic, what should I be looking at? Like, is there a certain archetype as a Magic player that you think that people should really pay attention to? Okay. Like, my default as a Magic player was I found the metagame, I looked at a couple of the top decks that exist, and I just, like, ripped those and said go for it. Summon this. Yes. Grab this. Here. Summon. Big Dom. I don't know that I want to do that, actually. Okay. There is a warrior. Grab this. Nope, you're just trying to offer the same thing to me that I already told you I don't want to do. Got it. Okay. My opponent is just dead. Like, so we're talking to a friend last night. Like, they recommended spellbooks. Because they said that, you know, as somebody who's played a reasonable amount of, like, Magic combo, that spellbooks kind of feels like Yu-Gi-Oh's version of Storm, which I thought is pretty interesting. Like I said, as somebody coming from grinding, like, competitive Eternal Magic, like, my first thought was, like, okay, what is good? What decks are doing well? Great, rip those lists. So I pulled a list for Branded Despia, and I pulled a list for Dragon Maid, but I couldn't tell you how either of them work. So, while I'm leaving you to think about that, Runic lists are more like Storm? Okay. So, something we touched on for a brief moment earlier. For one, the missions. Let's see here. You get things for winning a duel. We got a deck slot there. We got some skates for activating a spell card. And we got 100 gems for winning a ranked duel. And then we can access our duel pass, claim even more rewards. So Runic is like Storm. So maybe if someone is a fan of spell-based combo and Magic, they should look at something like a deck list centered around Runic. Alright, Time Eater, Chandraif, Skull Dice, Cursed Armaments, okay. So, I kind of talked there for a moment. That was 2 legacy packs, which we got points for. The archetypes are very similar to Magic. So, and that's what I'm trying to feel out, right? Like, where do the archetypes line up? because obviously, like, you have your turbo combo decks, and things like that that are like your fast combo and Magic. You have some aggressive decks, but I would say that the aggro decks in Master Duel in Yu-Gi-Oh, from what I've seen, function more similarly to aggro decks in the Pokemon TCG, where it's like, I'm gonna get a big idiot out quickly and just crunch in and kill with a big idiot. It almost feels more like the Commander like Voltron archetypes, where it's just like, present large moron, bash with large moron until opponent concedes. Whereas aggro and Magic is just like a bunch of really cheap, easily expendable creatures that all attack for and spells that all do roughly the same thing. So, like, that's one observation I've made. The aggro decks seem to function a little differently, on a little different axis. Going second, sure. Also, the first-second thing is something that's really interesting to me. It really seems like it is almost a benefit to go second. Sure, yep. You've got, like, one primary threat, protect the queen. Exactly. Like, this one thing is how we're winning the game. Oh, speaking of Dragon Maids. The extra card definitely doesn't hurt. The information and also being able to start the aggression all feel like very, very useful things. So I guess that's a thing to address for anyone watching this who is not familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards don't necessarily have summoning sickness like in Magic. Like, your creatures can attack the turn they come to play. But where that kind of differs, where that's a little different, is if you play first, you cannot attack on your first turn. I like that for me. I'm gonna just play this. All of a sudden my whole hand lights up. Do you want to interact with this? No, I don't. I put it there. It's fine. Double up on this. No. Kill this Dragon Maid. I will play one of these. Also, this hand, as like a Magic player, like this would be a snap mull for me. This hand does almost nothing. Like, comparatively towards what our deck is trying to do, this hand is just not that meaningful. Oh, it's fine. Sure. So Chamber Dragon Maid. So we have an answer to the spell or trap. Yeah, I have noticed that, like, various effects. One dragon fusion from your extra deck using monsters from your hand. Your graveyard, you can target. Okay. Nope, that's fine. Don't want to respond there. Also, like, the when you respond to things, like, feels way more meaningful in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the presence of all of these various effects. Show? Okay. We're probably dead to this. This hand is not set up to beat this shoe. Return this, special summon. Another big dumb. Yup, great. It absolutely does. I'm gonna protect this because I'm hoping that we can draw something meaningful here. Cool. Unfortunate. We're pretty dead. Definitely not set up to beat what's going on. This is going to take way too long to get us anywhere. Okay. Opponent bounced. A Dragon Maid is... So, like, I kind of get why it's not. Like, much like with Arena system, trying to fire off a bunch of quick games. I do understand the appeal of that kind of thing. That certainly doesn't do it. We're very dead. I will concede. We have very much died to what opponent is doing here. We could have survived like a turn, but I don't think that it matters. Like our whole hope that game was to try to stall our way into something meaningful, and I just don't think it was happening. All right. Gonna change decks. Let's try this thing. Yeah, I understand, like, as a Magic player, I prefer, like, best of 3. I'm gonna go second. But I understand, like, this game is so fast. Like, we died there on, like, turn 3. Okay. Discard 1 card, then target 1 dragon type in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Target 1 level 4 and dragon to your graveyard, add it to your hand or special summon it. Sure. Downtime. Okay. Special summon it. Sure. Level 4 Lord Dragon Maiden in your graveyard, except Nurse Dragon Maiden, special summon it. Okay. I think we're just going to let this be. Okay. You don't do anything here. You are type dragon. That is technically true. Play this. Yeah, and so that's kind of what I have seen. We're gonna do this. Yes. Here. Banish this. Okay. Go ahead and set this. Crunch that. Special summon 1 zombie monster from your deck and graveyard, but if you control no Eldritch, Special summon Eldritch monsters. Sure. Okay. One level 7 or 8 dragon monster from hand or graveyard to this card against attack. Okay, okay. So this is 2800, so that gives us 1400 on top of, that's only 1900, so that doesn't quite do what we want it to do. Okay. That isn't super meaningful right now. That doesn't do anything right now. This could be useful for later. Okay. Banish my dragon. That feels bad. Return of the Dragon Lords. Okay. I feel like we very much lost this game already. Another giant moron. Great. Perfect. We're super dead. Yep. Go down to 3,000. Opponent taxes for 3,500. We have lost the game. And this is kind of the situation, is that it really benefits you, even because the client is so... because the client offers you so many resources so early on, it really does benefit you to get access to a good deck very, very quickly. The client really wants you to push yourself to competitive levels fairly quickly. So, much like Bert had said, one of the best ways you can do that is by pushing yourself through all of the different solo mode options to give yourself the opportunity at more cards. So we will go ahead and do a couple of these. Again, apologies, the playing through some of these tutorials, not exactly the most entertaining, but this is about effect damage. So just teaching you about how to deal direct damage. Okay. We're going to spew damage at our opponent. I'm going to inflict 800 points to our opponent. Set all of these and then just pass. It is like it offering yourself the access to more cards. What do you do? This is the one. Okay. Destroy this, sure. Gonna take a bunch of damage here. We could not activate this last trap because we did not have a monster to tribute. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and here and play the defensive. Trigger Witch the Black Forest. Okay. Sure. Summon Fire Ferrets. Activate this. One takes 500. So we were talking about archetypes earlier, Bert. Matchups like this, where you're trying to deal direct damage and just completely negate each other's boards, feels very much like a control mirror. Okay. I need to find a monster that doesn't give my opponent some major benefit. I will hold this Soul Taker for now and get punished for it because opponent has presented lethal. So that is a situation where we could have won that game if we had just given opponent the life. Yep. And so we were talking earlier about kind of some of the pitfalls of the client's tutorials. That is this. Okay. It really does try to hold your hand through everything. Cylinder, sets. This one. I didn't learn from the last time. I was not supposed to activate that trap there. Absolutely. Britt, thank you for hanging out. Thank you all for hanging out this evening. I know this is kind of a pretty far departure from our normal content. This is another Witch of the Black Forest. Go ahead and activate this Mystic Tomato. Grab us a Dark Lord Nurse. Set this. Go ahead and just go on the defensive here. The Sangin can grab Nurse. Goblin Thief is actually huge here. I mean, I basically did the thing anyway, so that's okay. For sure, Bert. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it, dude. Well, I'll be back again on Friday with some more Magic content, so feel free to come hang out then. Draw this. Okay. Play this tomato. That's right, my opponent just gets to choose that. We should have just kept this tomato. I have died. So it turns out, one thing the client can't account for is me being very, very bad at the game. And so, where I was talking earlier about the game Master Duel kind of holding your hand through some of those tutorials, that only goes to a certain extent, right? Okay. Well, Goblin Thief. I'm gonna hold this poison to the old man. We will not activate this trap. We'll set this and pass. Just gonna defend ourselves here. This Nightmare Wheel will eventually do the thing. I'm gonna grab... We will Goblin Thief again here. Poison currently lit is 800, so we can just pass. We'll just grind this out. One monster your opponent controls. Okay. Can just hold off here. Fire Ferret. Just grind this out, kill our opponent 500 life points at a time. Oh, I cannot target. Destroyed by battle or card effects. Sure. So we just hold here? The opponent dies in our next turn when we poison them? Magic Cylinder. I will deal 800 to my opponent. There we go. And there is our grindy burn kill. Including reducing your opponent's deck to 0. Your opponent is trying to reduce your deck to 0, so pay careful attention to their plays and try to win with Exodia. So, another thing to touch on for those coming to the channel who are not familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is there are cards that have various levels of restriction on them. Exodia is one of those that allows you... Okay. Sure. Okay. So opponent's trying to mill us out. If you gather Exodia the Forbidden One, the 4 cards listed on it to your hand, total of 5 cards, you win the duel. Life totals don't matter. Have a witch. Add to it the Shard of Greed. I'm going to kill this Morphing Jar. One, two, three, four, 5. Select. Shuffle these into our deck. Draw some cards. 1 monster in the field and send 1 Forbidden One monster or Exodia from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Return target to hand. Target 1 Exodia in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Okay. Gonna draw some cards. We're gonna go to battle. Okay. We were told no. Yep. Return this to hand. I have right arm, left leg, Exodia. Take a right leg. If this card is sent from Spell and Trap Zone to the graveyard, you can target 1 Exodia. Then add it to your hand. Left arm. Hand or graveyard. Filter the graveyard. Draw a card. Set this. End our turn. Card to send to the graveyard. I will choose Sangan. Cancel. I will cancel. It's a Shard of Greed. Choose one of these Exodia pieces. I just want to summon this. I don't think we want to do this. Okay. Get rid of this. I just need to fish one more card out of 1, 2, 3. Okay. Which we can do by turn this to opponent's hand. Do this. I think we're just fine here. This here. Okay. So one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard. If you draw a card. Shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Card to send to the graveyard. Choose any one piece of Exodia. This. Dark World Dealings. Gonna discard this. There are not 5 or more monsters in my graveyard, so that doesn't matter. Twister. Send this to my graveyard. Destroy this. Oh, I needed a piece in my graveyard? Oh, 1 obliterate effect per turn. Unfortunate. Draw a card, discard a card. Discard. Backup soldier. Activate effect to draw a card. Spria. Upstart Goblin. Activates. Grab this. Get rid of this, draw a card. Activate this. That should be all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 4. Gonna get rid of Pot of Avarice. Activate to draw a card. And there are all 5 pieces. We have done the terrifying thing. I will say that this is like the clunkiest combo. They're like the deck they give you has a lot of tutors for these pieces, but they require your things to die and don't set you up in a position where that's likely. Battle Replay. So this is a weird kind of unique feature to Yu-Gi-Oh! That I think is actually kind of interesting. And that is that if during combat something happens that would mess up combat, like a monster disappears, is pulled back to hand, gone elsewhere, or a new monster shows up, it rewinds to the start of battle and says, okay, hold on. Things have changed. Remake your decisions. It's actually quite interesting. Okay. I will do just that. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Add up to 2 of these monsters from your deck to your hand. Okay. It's just requiring that we attack first. Now, because it has died, it's like, hey, the thing that you attacked is gone. Do you want to try attacking again? And it explains all of the different various ways in which you might incur battle replay. Main 2. This activates... Ifagaga, Toto or Go-Go. Go. Control is destroyed by battle or card effects. They're going to target one of those monsters, special summon it. Select. What are the most ridiculous things there? Okay. Two level 4 monsters. So we should have grabbed a level 4. Two level 4 monsters. Two level 4 monsters. Okay. Grab this. Okay. Opponent has obtained a warrior. It's a rather large idiot. They have negated our play. Unfortunate. Now we probably die to this big dumb. This card's normal summon. You can target up to 2 Gagas in your graveyard except Gaga Head. Yes. Yes. Blow this idiot up. Smash our opponent for a bunch. Detach materials from it. Card attacks an opponent's attack monster. This turn, it gains 1,000 attack. It also... The opponent's monster loses 500 attack. Cowboy. Special summon both, but negate their effects. If you... Okay. We can summon other idiots. Cannot be destroyed by battle, and neither player takes any battle damage involving attacks. Battles an opponent's monster, you can take control of that monster. Okay. All right. I think we're just gonna pass here. They make a big idiot. We have chosen our 2 targets. Kill this thing. Opponent has played all of their morons. I don't think I want to play this. Okay. We have taken an obscene amount of damage for playing that way. And then died. Okay. Okay. This battle. It destroys itself. Battle replay. Main 2. Grab ourselves the Magician. Set these two, play Protect the Queen a little bit. That's fine. I'm not at present concerned with any of this. Okay. Trade this out for a couple of morons. Your opponent controls a monster. Only your opponent controls a monster. You normal summon this card without tributing. Okay. Well, that's not the case. Target one monster in your graveyard except Gagamancer. Okay. Opponent's monster declares a direct attack. You can special summon this card from your hands. When this card is targeted for an attack, discard one card. Cannot be destroyed by battle damage. Okay. So hold on. What do we need to get same rank except numbers monsters? So what we're looking for here is some idiot that we can use, to special summon this. Okay, so what's in my graveyard? 4? That'll do. Activate effect. You. Everything becomes 4. Okay, that should have worked. Oh, because it needs to be an XYZ. Right. Bad at this game. Understood. This should have been in defense position. Change this to defense position. We're going to take a bunch of damage here we shouldn't. Cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the game except Gagamancer. Rest of this turn except Gaga monsters. Does the samurai do anything for us here? Okay. That doesn't really do anything. 2,800, 2,500, that's still bad for us. Okay. Can detach one material from this. Target one XYZ monster in your graveyard except this. Special summon it, but negate its effects. Okay. Utopia. When a monster declares an attack, you can detach one material and negate that attack. If this card is targeted for an attack on the material, destroy this card. Okay. Summon. Activate. Okay. The current level of that monster. Target one special summon monster your opponent controls and its attack becomes 0. Sure. Okay, but that doesn't do what we need it to do because, yep, we've punted this game away. Let's restart. And so, Bert and I were talking about this earlier, but that's really one of the most complicated parts of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that there is so much text on cards, and it matters so much. Going to this. Summon. Combats. Yes, please. Please take 1500. Main 2. You're the one. Grab a Utopia. This is a warrior. Opponent grabs Allen Boxer headgear. They're just gonna chain this the way along, get themselves a big idiot. You can target one. Okay. When XYZ is summoned, you can target one special summon monster opponent controls. This doesn't matter now. Now they smash us for a bunch of damage. Okay. Yup. Yup. Grab another Utopia, right? Okay, so that doesn't do anything. Actually, we can get a kill with this, right? Can go here. Activate effects. It did not work out as intended. Detach one material. Card gains 800 attack. Sure. That seems fair and reasonable. They have plenty of material attached. If you control a monster other than, you can special summon this card from your hand. When summoned this way, you can target one level of that monster. Sure. Start by summoning this. Activate. Yes. Get this. No. Why? Why can I not special summon this? If you control a Gagaga monster other than Gagaga Child, and special summon this card from your hand, end here. For some reason, it's not counting the cowboy correctly. Oh, because it's not a spellcaster. That's relevant information. Okay. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monster, special summon one from your deck. You cannot summon any other monsters of XYZs. Okay. Special summon you. Yes. Confirm here. Detach one material from it, then target one monster you control. Second attack. That really only matters if I've got a couple of these idiots in play. Don't think I want Magician here. I think I just want Cowboy. Okay. This should have been in defense position 100%. I messed that up. This one attack alone does the killing. Yep. Yeah, it turns out still just not very good at this game, which is an important part of like kind of doing the whole thing. 1 second here. For anyone curious, first drink of the evening was a Kentucky Mule, which is like a Moscow Mule, but made with bourbon. Using a pretty cool barrel pick bourbon that I got from a local group who got a barrel pick of a wheated bourbon from New Holland Brewing Company, who, despite their name of being a brewing company, they also make spirits. And then this, should I be able to get it open, is an apple maple syrup honey wine or mead from my favorite local meadery, Adesanya. Adesanya. There we go. Side note, safety tip kits, don't try to open corked wine bottles with your sharp knives. That's a terrible idea, and I could have gotten very hurt. Don't do that. I'm an idiot. So, I think what we will do is fire off one more ranked, and then kind of wrap things up. Again, I appreciate everyone for hanging out tonight. I know this is something very, very different from the norm, but I kind of, for a while now, I've kind of wanted to check out some other digital TCGs, and I've kind of done a little on my own, but I figured it would be cool to share my experience with all of you. So let's pick some other random deck that I don't know how it works. Sure, let's do Pendulum Nonsense. I will say that for Magic players, this mechanic specifically is one of the most absurd things that exists in Yu-Gi-Oh! That just, like, you could never do in Magic. I'm gonna go second, I think? Yeah. Pendulum summoning works in that some of your monsters, some of your creatures can be used as spells. And they can allow you to summon things. This is 8 and also 8. That's not good. Special summon one pet from your extra deck. Dece, like that. When this card is normal summon or special summon, you can send one Performapal monster from your deck to the graveyard, except this. Add it to your hand instead. Okay. So most of these Pendulum monsters, pretty weak in and of themselves. But the ability to special summon other stuff, very good. So while we're waiting for our opponent here, I will state, if you are watching this and you have an idea for a digital TCG you would like to see me check out, please feel free to reach out to me. You can get at me on Twitter, Discord, Twitch whispers, YouTube comments, whatever. I am curious. I would like to see my opponent just skip through their whole turn. Okay. It's 3 and 8. Okay. P-scale 3. P-scale 8. Once this card is in your pendulum zone, when your odd-eyes monster declares an attack, okay. Doesn't matter right now, target one Performapal. If your Performapal monster destroys an opponent's monster, inflict 1,000 points of battle damage. That's neat. We can get a Donkey into play. Normal summoned or special summoned, you can send one Performapal from your deck to the graveyard. 2 cards in your pendulum zone sent to your hand instead. Okay. Face-up card you control. Destroy it. If you do, add 1 odd-eyes card from your deck to your hands. Okay. Summon. Yup. This big idiot? This one. It's this one. Yup. Sky Iris. Set this. Okay. Destroy one. Target one of their face-up card you control and destroy it. If you do, an odd-eyes card. Sure. Blow this up. Tribute this card. This. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. We're just gonna pass. We took a setup turn. We should be able to put this into play. One of these two. Either one. Runai's Pendulum Dragon. Okay. My opponent just not taking game actions? Love that for us. Stand by. Main one. Okay. eyes monster. Okay. This is neither an odd eyes nor okay. So we're just going to move to combat. Okay. Is the opponent finally going to start taking game actions, or...? Main one, okay. So again, I appreciate everyone hanging out tonight. I know this is pretty different from the normal content. We will be back to Magic content on Friday, around 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I think we're going to be playing some Legacy. I have gotten invited to play on a team for an upcoming Team Trios event in my area, which is Pioneer Modern Legacy, and I have not touched Legacy in a hot moment. So I am very interested in trying to get myself ready for that. My opponent's hand just was non-functional. Is that what this is? If you control an Odd Eyes card, target one card on the field and destroy it. Add to your hand one level 7 Odd Eyes from your deck, or one level 7 Pendulum monster from your extra deck. Okay. Sure. Main one. Set this. We can tribute this card, then target one Performa Pal monster. Yes. I will get rid of this idiot. Play this idiot. Activate. Select this. Play this here. Control an Odd Eyes card. I do control an Odd Eyes card. My opponent doesn't have anything I want to destroy, though. So I guess we're just going to move to combat. Target one Performa Pal monster you control gains attack equal to the original attack the target monster on the field until end of turn. Okay. Once per turn, if your Performa Pal destroys an opponent's monster, inflict 1,000 points back. Okay. Yep, we just don't care about any of this. We're just going to keep on keeping on. Pendulum, okay. But yeah, so quite likely be playing some Legacy on Friday, getting ready for this team event, and then yeah, we'll go from there. If you are interested in seeing what I'm up to in Magic outside of the digital space, please feel free to reach out to me, as I am currently preparing for this Team Trios event, an old school webcam league with some modifications. I have a friend out of Oregon who hosts an event every year where it is an old school event playing by Eternal Central 93-94 rules, but with some modifications to his custom specifications that particular year. So, for example, this year we have added the following cards: Lotus Petal, Arcane Denial, Silver Knight. Oh dear, the rest of the list escapes me, excuse me. Switch. Alright, Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. This is a big dumb. When this Pendulum Summoned card inflicts battle damage, sure. So our additions to the traditional old school list include Naturalize, Silver Knight, Arcane Denial, Goblin Piledriver, Lotus Petal, Restricted Demonic Consultation, Restricted Necropotence, and also featuring the errata, Walls Can Attack. So, interesting stuff. I don't think I really want to sacrifice my idiots to do this. I think I do want to Pendulum Summon. Big Dump. Make an idiot. So the format should be interesting. I am currently not sure what it is I plan on playing, but whatever it is, it should be a riot. Guess we're going to just go to combat. Attack you. It's really nice that my opponent didn't take game actions this entire game. Do as much damage as humanly possible. We've received the Ultra Burst achievement. Gotten ourselves some goodies. But yes, so current plans are in not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, I have an old school blind spice event put on by a local old school club, which is everyone shows up, you buy into the event, and you are handed a random deck. You don't know what that deck is ahead of time, you just play the deck as it is handed to you. So that should be fun and interesting. We will see how that goes. Furthermore, I have this Team Trios event at the end of the month, where I will be filling a legacy seat, or such is the plan, should everything go according to plan, with two very close friends who I have known for many, many years, playing in my Pioneer and Modern seats. And then finally, again, this webcam old school plus league, which starts at the beginning of next month. So I will be playing plenty of Paper Magic in the meantime. It should be great fun all the way around. But we'll go ahead and open some packs here before we wrap this up. Again, I appreciate everyone hanging out. I know this is really weird and different compared to what we normally do, but I appreciate all of you being here, and I appreciate all of you hanging out watching. We will be doing more occasional non-magic related content with various different types of digital TCGs for this series. If you have an idea for the name of this series, please reach out to me. I am very curious about your thoughts, because I have yet to figure out a good name for this series where we're exploring other digital TCGs. Hell yeah. This is a card that I remember from when I actually played Paper Yu-Gi-Oh! All these many moons ago. Rad. Okay. That's pretty cool. But, yeah, so I will be playing in a bunch of Paper Magic events in the not-too-distant future, which means that you will see some more varied Magic streams, so that I can facilitate the testing I need to do for these events. Primarily, you will see me playing some more Legacy on the channel than I have been in the recent history. But again, we're going to do some other cool stuff. We'll still play in some Vintage and things like that. We're probably going to try to fire off at least one more cubes, one Cube League, on one more Cube League on stream before such point as that is retired for the season. So stay tuned for that as well. But everyone, it has been a delight. I will see you all again Friday, where we're going to be playing some Legacy. What are we playing? Who knows? Might be Initiative, might be Cephalid Breakfast, could be anything. So stay tuned for that. We will see you all again on Friday. Cheers. You have a fantastic evening.